I think he just goes for Follow Me or Trick Room here, though. There's the final game, and it doesn't work! It doesn't work! Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to taunt the Trick Room so he doesn't get the Trick Room off here. I'm going to get my +1 boost. So what he's going to do now, he's going to try to actually go for Final Gambit onto the Noivern this next turn now. There's the Trick Room taunt. Perfect. Perfect turn 1. What is up, everybody? Back with some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Regulation H VGC. We're here with another one of my teams that I've personally created. Ranked actually drops, at least when I'm recording this, it actually drops in about a day and a half. So there's actually a team I'm going to be using on the in-game ranked ladder that I'm going to try to get a high placement with, and I think it's overall a really good team. If you guys want a really good team to easily get your ranks through like Great Ball tier, through Ultra Ball tier, and up to Master Ball tier, even if you don't like play that much in Master Ball tier, if you just want like the rewards, I think it's going to be a really good team to easily get there very fast. This is a team I made around Sylveon and a bunch of other really cool stuff. The main thing I wanted to use though was Sylveon, Hisuian, and Zoroark, and Noivern, and then I kind of went from there. That's the main 3 I kind of formed this team around. It was kind of something I was experimenting with, and it ended up kind of doing really well, so I kind of pushed a lot further, and it ended up doing really, really good. So the main theme behind this team is just to shit damage numbers. Go as fast as possible. You got Tailwind, you got Speed Control on this team, and it's just kind of the shit damage numbers. That's really what it is. You have a bunch of hard hitters on this team. You have an enabler on this team that also is really, really good. Few supportive options on this team. It has a bunch of everything. There's a lot of different options, which I'm going to break down for you guys. But the main thing you're going to be doing is just shitting damage and kind of overwhelming your opponent with the amounts of damage you're able to do, and make it so they can't really prepare, kind of can't really react to the amount of damage you're doing, while also kind of playing mind games with the Zoroark and a few other things on this team, which can kind of throw them off guard as well. You also have Taunt and Noivern, which shuts a lot of stuff down. A lot of people don't really expect, so a lot of stuff on this team too you don't really see very much, which I think is kind of another little quirk this team has. It has a few mons on here that are running some stuff that you don't really see very much, or you aren't really played that much, so people don't really know what they really do. So I'm going to kind of break this team down for you guys. If you guys want to use it, rental up in the corner. I'll have a pace for this team down below. I'm going to break down this team in depth, so it's going to be kind of more of an in-depth breakdown. So if you guys want to just skip to the battles, I'll throw a timestamp on screen for you guys right now if you just want to skip to the battles. Going to probably be like more of like an hour-long vid, or probably even longer than an hour vid. I do want to talk about this team in depth and really showcase this team, what you guys are going to be getting if you do play the team. And it's one of my teams, so I like featuring my teams a lot more than random rental code teams, but I'm kind of biased now. I'm sure everybody is with their own teams. I really want to showcase what this team really does. I'm just really proud of how it turned out. Another one of those teams where I had so many variations of this team, and I've been working on it for such a long time, and I think it just turned out perfectly. It was one of those teams that there's a lot of different shit I was changing, and I finally brought it in game, and it turned out great. So I don't know if it's one of my best teams I've made. I think maybe the Espeon team, if you guys missed that, I'll leave a link at the end of this video, was maybe a little bit better, but it's getting to the point where I'm not really sure if that team really holds up as well, because I haven't really been using it as much. I've been testing this team mainly recently. That other team could be getting a little bit outdated. I'm not sure. But this team is a lot more recent, and I think it's a lot more up to date, at least with stuff that's currently being played and that type of stuff. So, especially going into ranked here in about a day and a half, at least when we're recording this. Probably when you guys see this, and ranks might also already be up, depending when you're seeing this. But in-game ranked ladder going up. Really good team for this. So get into it. We got the Sylveon on here. The main thing with the Sylveon is just the shit damage. I think Sylveon in a fairy type, or in a format like Regulation H, where there really is not many fairy types, is just really underrated. You have really good natural bulk, and you have really good offensive stats. You're kind of slow, but that's not really that big of an issue if you have Tailwind and like other supportive options to kind of use. And you also have the specs there. Specs pixelate alongside of a battery boost sometimes, or even just with like a Terra Fairy boost. It's just so difficult to actually play into. It really is. And especially under Tailwind, when you're outspeeding a lot of stuff for like some of your middle speed tier teams or like your slower teams, it just shits so much damage. The main thing that really shuts this thing down is Wide Guard, which is one of the main things for this team. You have a few things to play around it, but Only main thing you gotta look out with the team is kind of wide guard sometimes. It's not really that common currently though, so it's only ran on maybe like 2 or 3 things that are pretty commonly used, which we'll talk about. But this thing is crazy. What you're gonna be doing with this thing is either running it under Tailwind, or even like some of your slower teams, you won't even need Tailwind. You can just pair it alongside the Charge Bug, get the battery boost. With a battery boost, Terra Fairy plus specs, like everything just gets one-shot. Even like resistances usually get 2-hit KO'd most of the time, depending on what they are, and even some of them get one-shotted. I've had so many games where I like the Sylveon just ends up coming in late game and just brings the game back for me, or just destroys my opponent's team because they have nothing for it. So it's a really cool set as well. It's actually, I think it's a 212. It's almost a max speed Sylveon. I think the Sylveon in-game, I fucked up the EV, so I think the one in-game is actually max speed, but the one on Showdown is a little bit slower. I think with Tailwind, it's supposed to get up to a certain speed range. I think it's 100. I think it's 110 or 115 or something. I forgot what exactly is. If you guys really want to run it, you can check on the damage calculator with like a Tailwind boost and like the EV spread and everything. I forgot what it was off the top of my head because it's been a while since I did the EVs for all these mons. I should have in the paste maybe if I remember to put in the paste, but pretty much just a max speed, max special attack Sylveon under Tailwind, outspeeds everything, not really expected very much. Most common set with Sylveon right now is Throat Spray, and here they're usually running more bulky or like Calm Mind variants with Terra Fire, so you're not really expecting a full-on Fairy Terra Sylveon with specs, so that's kind of what it is. And you also have Quick Attack there for priority for really low health targets, but apart from that, you're just going to be clicking Hyper Voice like 99.9% of the time. Another mon on this team is the Hisuian Zoroark. This is a mon that's actually really underrated right now. It actually is one of the main checks to Annihilate, one of the most common scary Pokemon in the format. You pretty much 100% check like any Annihilate set, pretty much. You also wall a bunch of other really common normal types like Mousehold, and there's a few other things that you kind of just wall out completely because they either can only hit you with Ghost type moves, which you're immune to, or they have nothing to really touch you most of the time. And especially if you're going to be disguising yourself as something that you really don't know it's you. So that's kind of another thing you got going for yourself. I think it just pairs really good with this team. It pairs with the Noivern really well. It pairs with the Charge Bug really well. And as a disguise, it actually disguises itself really well as the Sylveon and the King Gambit. King Gambit being 4 times weak to fighting. That way you don't have to take a fighting type move, or you can kind of fake your opponent out with that type of thing. It's also another thing that can get around Fake Out. Fake Out doesn't affect it, so somebody might waste a turn going for Fake Out onto the Zoroark, buying you a free turn, which has happened many times. Main thing you're going to be disguising this thing as, though, is either the King Gambit or the Sylveon in the majority of your games. Once in a while, you'll disguise as the Sneasler if you want to throw your opponent off guard. Once in a while, but usually it's going to be one of those two. And you're going to be either pairing it alongside either the Charge Bug or usually the Noivern most of the time. That's usually the most common pairings that you're going to be pairing alongside of. So, pretty much what it is, max speed, max special attack, Zoroark. You got the Stellar Terra there. Just boost your damage. A Stellar Terra boosted, Throat Spray boosted Zoroark with Hyper Voice actually hits pretty damn hard, especially alongside a battery boost Charge Bug, which actually is not really going to be expected by a lot of people, so Stellar Terra is just there mainly as if you really want to go like full send on the Zoroark if they happen to be really weak to it. It's a pretty good offensive typing. Ghost normal, it hits pretty much the majority of stuff, at least for neutral damage, so if you want to go full send on the Zoroark, that's why the Stellar Terra is kind of there. You got the Shadow Ball for stuff like Annihilate, a lot of the other ghost types, Chandelure, Gengar, that type of thing. Icy Wind for speed control. It's kind of more of an off-type move. There's a few things in the format that are weak to ice, or 4 times weak to ice, like Garchomp and a few other things that it's sometimes a little bit better to click into, especially at +1. I think like one-shots Garchomp with this Throat Spray +1 boost, so keep that in mind. But mainly it's for speed control. Kind of there is an option you got to protect, so kind of what it is. I got the King Gambit on the team. It's overall really standard King Gambit, nothing really crazy. You got the Sucker Punch, Kotao Cleave there. Your Terra Flying gives you a little bit better matchup into like some of your ground type spam stuff like Garchomp, Excadrill. There's a few other things that really want to spam ground type moves. Mainly Blood Moon Ursaluna kind of buys you a free turn versus. So if they want to go for Earth Power, you can go Terra Flying and get like a free turn there, which is really nice. That type of thing. You also have Defiant, which allows you to get a free stat boost against Intimidator like Snarl Spam or Icy Wind Spam or whatever they really want to do, so that's also really nice. So, kind of more of a standard mod, not really too much to talk about. It's also another faster King Gambit. I think this one actually has 150 something speed, so with a Tailwind boost, you're outspeeding I think like I think it's like 110s or so. It's not 110s or 115s around there. I think there was a specific speed tier I EV'd it to outspeed. I forgot which one it was though, but like I said, it should be in the pace. So if you guys want to go onto the damage calc yourself, just take the EV spread and look it up on there with Tailwind boost. See what with base speed you actually outspeed. I got the Noivern on this team. This is the main thing you're going to be bringing to a lot of your games on this team. It's kind of the glue to this squad. You got the taunt there. It's really fast. Noivern's one of the fastest things in the format. You have like 120 something base speed. Outspeeds pretty much everything. You got Frisk, which is really nice to see items. Gives you a lot of intel, especially turn 1, which this team really likes. Being able to play around items. Got the Sash there, that way you cannot get one-shot by anything. Tailwind's great for this team. One of the main things you're going to be using it for. You got the Boom Burst there to spam alongside the Zoroark mainly, and you got a few other things on this team that can kind of play around it with Protect. It also is another mon that can actually pair pretty well with Charge Bug. You just got to pair with every other turn because otherwise the Charge Bug's going to be taking a bunch of damage. Not that you really care that much, the Charge Bug's just really there to provide the boost. If you're shitting that much damage anyways and you're taking that much damage, it doesn't really matter if you're like 3-shotting everything or like just downing the entire field. So your max special attack, max speed, Terra normally got Boom Burst there for another option to pair alongside Charge Bug, but your main's going to be using there for just solid chip damage, same with the Dragon Pulse. And then you got Taunt there, which is main thing to shut down Follow Me spam from stuff like Indeedee. Moongus gets completely shut down by it. Wide Guard users, stuff like Armor Rogue, Pelipper, that type of stuff that wants to sit there and spam the shit out of Wide Guard, gets taunted, they can't do that anymore. So there's a lot of stuff, especially if they want to set up on you. You can also predict a setup or like some of that type of stuff. Any type of prankster mods, Murkrow, some of the other prankster stuff that really likes to set up on you. Got a non-prankster boosted taunt, which guarantee lands and doesn't get blocked by anything usually, which is nice. So it's kind of what it's really there for. It shuts down a lot of that type of shit that this team really doesn't want to play into. You got the Sneasler on this team with the Clear Amulet. This is another thing that I think this team really likes. This team really wanted a fighting type. I originally had like a bunch of other fighting types. I had Conkeldurr, I tried that originally, didn't really work. Too slow. I had Blaziken, Speed Boost Blaziken, mid, didn't really do much, didn't see much improvement. I tried Infernape, a little bit better, didn't really see much improvement though. Then I switched to Sneasler. I was like, man, this thing's actually really good. It fits really well on this team. Having the Dire Claw, Poison, and like not really having to rely on Unburden, being just this fast already with Tailwind's really, really nice. And like this thing just fit like a glove onto this team. Probably by far the best thing I think, at least for a fighting type, this team could want. Mainly this thing is there for stuff like Arclodon and like a lot of your normal types like Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and that type of thing. It also hits a lot of the grass types for really good damage with Dire Claw. Just mainly there to get rid of some of that more pesky shit for the Sylveon and like the King Gambit, the stuff that it really doesn't want to deal with. Same with the Zoroark, the Steel types, the Dark types, all that shit doesn't really want to deal with. It's there to get rid of. That's kind of the main role for this thing. You also have Quick Guard. This team is actually pretty weak to priority, and that's one of the checks of this team. With Quick Guard, you can deny stuff like E-Speed Dragonite, Aqua Jet Palafin, or Jet Punch Palafin. There's a few other things that are a bunch of priority shit. Prankster priority stuff, because if you outspeed them, it'll actually go first. So you outspeed like pretty much all the prankster mons in the game, unless they have Tailwind on their side. So you're guaranteed blocking prankster type moves, which just buys your team a bunch of turns and a bunch of damage most of the time. So it's just there to kind of counter a lot of that stuff, because otherwise this team is pretty weak to priority, and that's kind of one of the ways to really chip it down really easily. So that having that there is kind of one of the things you're going to want to bring to a lot of those matchups. And then last but not least, we got the actually one more thing. The Terra Steel and the Sneasler is mainly for your rain matchups into Pelipper. The Sneasler, especially with the Terra Steel, is good into Pelipper, and it's a little bit better into Arclodon, because usually they spam Flash Cannon and like Dragon Pulse sometimes, so you can maybe take a few more hits. But mainly for stuff like Pelipper and some of the stuff that likes to run under rain, to spam the flying type moves. Terra Steel allows you to live most of that stuff, and two-shot whatever it usually is with Dire Claw. That's the main reason why it's Terra Steel. Apart from that, there's not really too much of a use for it, but just for this more specific situations. If you're going to be going Terra on this team, it's usually the Sylveon or like the Zoroark or the King Gambit most of the time. Just full send in for damage, but kind of what it is. Then last month, you got the Charge Bug on this team with the Eviolite. Just a full-on bulky spread like max HP, some defense, some SpDef. You got the Thunder Wave there to really slow down some shit. If you really want to get that a single target type move, if they're spamming Wide Guard or that type of shit, you can go for Thunder Wave. You got the Electro Web there, which is really good in a lot of your rain teams currently. And some of the stuff that gets hit for super effective damage or does not want its speed lowered at all, which team really likes. And then Struggle Bug, lowering special attack and doing decent damage. Not too bad to have, so. And the main thing it's on this team for is the battery boost, which is pretty much a free life orb boost for special attacks. So you're giving the Zoroark, the Sylveon, and the Noivern all a free boost, making them hit even harder than they already were hitting, so that's kind of what's really on this team for. Apart from that, just provide chip damage support and stat spam, lowering speed and lowering special attack and thunder waving shit before it dies. It's kind of what it's really there for, so apart from that, that's the team. Kind of a long explanation, so a lot of shit I wanted to talk about, but there's probably some stuff I forgot to, but I'll probably explain it during some of the matches, depending on what we run into. Top in some games. Alright, we're the match. My opponent has a kind of a semi-rain team. I don't think he actually has rain, though. I think that's actually probably choice Scarf Basket Legion. Basket Legion, Rillaboom, Talonflame, Porygon Z, Mousehold, and Electabuzz. So I'm assuming that's probably offensive Mousehold. Kind of a scary team. What I want to do here. I kind of like the Charge Bug here. I really do. I kind of like the Charge Bug just mainly for the stat spam, and it kind of provides support in that way. I think I'm going to bring Charge Bug lead here. I'm going to lead Charge Bug. Well, what else do I really want to bring here? Another thing too is actually the Terra Steel on the Sneasler is also good into Talonflame. It buys you a free hit. So I think Dire Claw pretty much one-shots most of the time, so it's also another really good thing. It depends what I really want to bring here. I think I'm going to bring the Zoroark lead. I'm going to bring the Sneasler in the back, and then I'm going to bring the Sylveon. I think that's what I'm going to bring this game. These are just really good into my opponent's team. I just need some support from like speed drops and stuff. I gotta make it so like his Tailwind's kind of irrelevant. That's the one way you can kind of get around it. If I can shut that down, I can put in work with Sneasler and especially the Sylveon late. Buzz Lightyear and Pixel. That's a cool nickname. I'll give him that. That's a cool one. Buzz Lightyear, the Electabuzz. Okay. I mean, I can just Electro Web here, or I can just Thunder Wave too, but if he goes for Follow Me, that could be kind of shitty. Actually, Struggle Bug doesn't look too bad here. I'm going to Struggle Bug. He does not know I'm Zoroark either, so if he goes for a normal type move onto the Zoroark, it'll actually fail here, so I'm not going to go Terra Stellar on the first turn here, I don't think. Part of me just wants to protect. I think I'm just going to Hyper Voice to try to get my boost. Oh, he protects, damn it. So that means he's probably going to go Nuzzle. I think he has Nuzzles here. I don't know, if he Nuzzles, that could be a bit of a problem. Nothing, though. That really does not do much. Electro Web. That makes sense. I mean, I protect, though, so on this next turn, I just protect here. And like I just go for Electro Web onto him. Struggle Bug. Doesn't do nothing. I mean, I could Thunder Wave too, but if he goes for Follow Me, that's the main issue. I'm just going to protect here. I think he just tries to nuke me on this turn. Or if you go like Terra Electric, I've seen Terra Electric. Porygon Z too. If he switches, he takes a speed drop. Surprised that Hyper Voice really didn't do that much, though. That was even with a battery boost. Should be doing a lot more now, though, because I have the +1 boost. I think that's kind of one of the main drawbacks is Hisuian Zoroark is not really strong enough to do that much damage. You really need like a throat spray boost or some type of boost to make it do a solid amount of damage. Or like run specs or something crazy on it. Comes out Rillaboom. Here comes the Rillaboom. Does Grassy Glide from this range even kill me? It probably does. Probably does, actually. I just want to keep going for Electro Web because like I can go into Sylveon now, and Sylveon's looking really good. Like Terra, Fairy, Sylveon. If I can get some more chip damage here, that'd be great, but I don't know if it's really going to matter that much. I'm going to try to live stay in and try to live this. I don't think there's really any point in really switching here. I think he just goes Grassy Glide here. I'm going to Electro Web again. I could Thunder Wave too, but like if he goes for Follow Me, that's kind of bad. I'm just going to Hyper Voice here. I need damage on this. He doesn't even go for the Grassy Glide. That's a shit ton of damage. There's the taunt, so if I would have went for Thunder Wave, I would have got taunted. I wouldn't be able to do it, so that was nice. He takes a fuck ton of recoil here. That's perfect. That's kind of what you want to do with the Zoroark. Just like shit as much damage out as you can before you die. It's kind of what it did this match. It's usually what it does. Fortunately, I don't get the KO there because the charge bug's piss poor weak, but it's a point now where like Sylveon comes in here and I can kind of just click moves. The only shitty thing is like I don't know if it actually lives like a normal type move from the Porygon, especially these specs. That could be the only bad thing. So I'm not going to Terra on this turn. I'm going to Struggle Bug here. I'm going to Struggle Bug, and then I'm just going to Hyper Voice. I'm not going to Terra, because I might need Terra on the Sneasler. Okay, that's fine. Just in case I need Terra Steel to 1v1 the Porygon's late game, that could be pretty good. Could have been banded. Rillaboom too if he wasn't going for Grassy Glide there for chip damage. It's kind of the thing that Charge Bug too. The Charge Bug just sits on the field, just keeps on lowering stats too, because nobody really takes it as much of a threat, so they kind of just leave it hanging around a lot longer than they really should. So I'm assuming this thing has to be like choiced in some type of way. I don't know. I think what I do here is I just go for Electro Web. I could Struggle Bug actually. I'm going to Struggle Bug here. I'm going to Struggle Bug, and then I'm just going to go for Hyper Voice here. It depends if he specs or not. I don't know if he one-shots the Sylveon here, but see if he specs. I don't know if that's specs, but that does a fuck ton of damage. That's Life Orb. Okay. Just one-shots him. This is what I'm telling you guys. Specs Sylveon is just so good. It is so overlooked in this format. Like, its damage numbers are so good, especially beside the Charge Bug. Like, you take in consideration the specs plus the battery boost right there. Like, that's pretty much +2. +2 Hyper Voice coming off Pixelate, which is crazy. And that's not even with the Terra Fairy boost either. Comes Fox. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to go for Electro Web. I could Thunder Wave too, but I think Electro Web just breaking his Gale Wings here is the play. I think the Sylveon drops here, unfortunately, but for some reason it lives. I'm going to keep it around. He's going to take a recoil, so I guess it doesn't matter that much. I think the game's pretty much won here. That's why I wanted to save the Terra here too. That way if he goes for Brave Bird onto the Sneasler, I have Terra Steel. Kind of check that, and he's at -1 now anyways, so I don't think it really matters. I outspeed him guaranteed now. I could just Terra here to be really safe, but I don't know if it really matters. I think Dire Claw just gets the KO here, and if it doesn't for whatever reason, I think Electro Web does. So I think I'm guaranteed win no matter what here. Oh, he's going to Terra. Uh-oh. If he's Terra Steel, he can still maybe stick around in the match. He can still win if he's Terra Steel. It's Terra Ghost. That doesn't do anything for you. Like, there's also a Poison Touch Sneasler too, so you have a really high chance of getting a Poison. I get the paralysis there. That's nice. I think with recoil, like he just dies to recoil here. Like that does nothing to the charge bug. That's why the charge bug is kind of good in Talonflame too, because Talonflame's not strong enough to actually one-shot the charge bug. So you're always guaranteed to at least get some type of damage on it, either a Thunder Wave or an Electro Web. It can never really one-shot you unless you're like, it's full-on like Terra Fire Choice Banded or Terra Flying Choice Banded maybe, but most of the Talonflames are running like offensive, but they aren't running like any choice items or like fully offensive. They're either supportive or that type of thing, so had a really solid game. Sylveon putting in the work, Zoroark putting in the work, Charge Bug holding down the fort, doing really nice, sitting on the field the entire game. I'll see you guys in another match. Alright, we're here with the match. My opponent actually has Trick Room stuff, so this is a good game for the Noivern. Noivern for sure gets brought here. Same with the Zoroark. I think that's the lead I go with. He has kind of a fast mode with Venusaur, but I'm not really too worried about it. One has the Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Hatterene, Torkoal, Venusaur, Indeedee, and Annihilate. So I don't. He could be like a choice Scarf Annihilate too. But the good thing with this lead as well, with the Noivern and Zoroark lead, is if he goes for Rage Fist or like even like Final Gambit onto any of these Mons, I have Sash, so he can't one-shot me, and it doesn't affect the Zoroark. So it pretty much locks him into a move that does nothing. So kind of the great thing with this lead too, even if it's like a choice Scarf Annihilate. I think worst case scenario here is what we're gonna have to deal with is if he's like Trick Room and Hatterene alongside Blood Moon maybe, or if he leads with like Torkoal, Venusaur could be a bit of an issue. What else do I want to bring here? I want to bring Sylveon. I really do. Sylveon doesn't look too bad here. I think I bring Sneasler in the back just for the Blood Moon Ursaluna. That's what he really leads with. Indeedee Annihilate, well, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. I just get a free taunt on the Indeedee here, too. This is the perfect lead for me. Psychic Seed, oh, that's fine. He's choice Scarf, that's perfect. So if he locks himself into, like, Final Gambit here, like, I'll just go down to Sash, or he can go on, he just uses it on the Zoroark and he wastes turns. So, perfect. Could not have asked for a better lead. I just go for Taunt here. I go for Taunt, and then I go for Hyper Voice here to get my boost. I think he just goes for Follow Me or Trick Room here, though. There's the Final Game, and it doesn't work! It doesn't work! Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to Taunt the Trick Room so he doesn't get the Trick Room off here. I'm going to get my +1 boost. So what he's going to do now, he's going to try to actually go for Final Gambit onto the Noivern this next turn now. There's the Trick Room Taunt. Perfect. Perfect turn 1. So he's going to try to go out the Final Gambit onto the Noivern now, but I'm Sash, so he's going to end up just going down himself here. So I'm just going to Boom Burst. I'm going to Boom Burst, and I'm just going to Hyper Voice again here. I'm Sash, so he can't one-shot me. He just dies. Goodbye. Pretty much a free kill. It didn't do anything for him at all. Plus, I got him to not go for Trick Room. Got a bunch of... That does nothing. Wow, that's weak. That does nothing. Got a bunch of free damage here. He goes for Psychic. That doesn't really matter, though. It breaks my illusion. Actually, it does a fuck ton of damage. More than I thought it was going to. But he has no Trick Room here either. So I think worst case, if he has Torkoal, he has Ursaluna, that's fine. It's fine, I don't care. I just Boom Burst here again. Actually, I don't even think I need the Boom Burst. I'm just going to go for Dragon Pulse here to get the stab boost. And then I'm just going to Hyper Voice here again. I have Sneasler in the back, so like... solid amount. Almost gets rid of the Ursaluna. That's perfect. That's what the team does really well. This was a perfect game, like a perfect showcase on like the perfect lead of what I'm good into. Teams are really good into like the Annihilate and Needy teams, like these teams that want to like spam Trick Room and follow me garbage. A simple taunt really shuts him out. He's Life Orb, so he just drops. What is your last mon? I'm assuming Hatterene has to be his last mon, I'm assuming. I don't know what else it really be. It doesn't make sense if he has Torkoal by itself. I guess he does have. I guess if his plan was to set up Trick Room, I guess the Torkoal makes sense. Be like as a late game Terrifier Trick Room sweeper, I think that's what it was gonna be, but didn't work out that way, unfortunately for him. I'm gonna Dire Claw here for the status chance. I can't really do much here, unfortunately. Like I can go for Terra Fairy here to maximize my damage. I think that's what I do. I just go for Hyper Voice here. Surrenders. He's like, yeah, I got fucked. I got absolutely screwed over. I got destroyed. That first turn there was absolutely fucking brutal for him, especially that second turn too. Being sashed, and he was like, oh man, I just lost my mon for nothing. Got absolutely just double outplayed 2 turns back to back. Perfect. That went really good. I'll see you guys in another match. Alright, we have another match. We're going as the Whimsicott, Glamora, Golden Go, Hydreigon, Gyarados, Arclidon. Be a really tough game again. Really tough match. What do I want to do here? I think I bring Zoroark lead. Looks not too bad here. I think Zoroark, Noivern lead. I want to bring Sylveon to this game too. It looks really good. Kind of late game though. I don't really want to lead with it at all. I think I'll bring it late game. I think I'm going to disguise the Zoroark as the Sneasler this match. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. King Gambit ain't too bad here either. It's mainly good into the Golden Go though. Apart from that, it doesn't really do much this game. I mean, it's good into Gyarados, kinda, and the Glamora. If he doesn't have Earth Power, which they probably do. I think I'm going to bring the Sylveon and I'm going to bring the Sneasler here. Life Orb, Overcloak. That ain't too bad. That ain't bad. I think it's Hyper Voice here. He might actually just Terra here too, predicting like a close combat because he thinks I'm the Sneasler. He doesn't know it though. I kind of want a Tailwind, but if he locks me into it with Encore on the next turn, that could also be pretty bad. But I think I just have to take the bet he doesn't have Encore and hope he doesn't. Just to protect. So at the very least, I get some chip damage on the Whimsicott here for free, which is pretty nice. I get my +1 boost. On this next turn, I just double into Hydreigon, I think. I'm hoping he doesn't have Encore, though. If he has Encore, he can shut those plans down, but I'm hoping he doesn't have Encore. I'm going to go for Hyper Voice again, and I'm going to double into the Hydreigon here. I'm hoping he doesn't have Encore to lock me into Tailwind. That could be really bad. It seems like all the Whimsicott I've been going against on the ladder, like they all have Encore for whatever reason. I have not ran into one that doesn't have Encore for some reason. It must be a new thing that they're all running it for some reason now. Wasn't that common before, but now it seems like everybody's running it, or I'm just getting really unlucky to the ones I'm going against. Probably knows I'm Zoroark now too. He's gonna Terra though. Probably Terra Steel. Terra Fire. Okay, well that doesn't matter. He might live though. He might live because I can't hit him for super effective damage anymore. There's the Encore. There's the Encore, of course. Of course, I just said it too, of course. He shuts down my entire plans now. He knows I'm the Zoroark now too, so the Zoroark's gone on this turn. I'm dead. Get the Whimsicott the fuck out of here, though. Part of me wished I switched. I mean, it doesn't do that much damage, though. Part of me wishes I kind of switched out, but... I don't know, I have Sneasler, which the Sneasler can kind of just come in here now. It depends what his other Mon is. Because, like, the Noivern doesn't really do that much damage. That's the main thing. So it doesn't really pay sacking something off or, like, letting the Sylveon take a fuck ton of damage on the way in. Just to save the Noivern for late game. Even though I'm encored in. I think the Sylveon just shits damage late game. It's just way better. Gyarados. Okay. I mean, I could protect here, too. Does the Hydreigon protect on this turn? I'll find out. I can't really take that risk if he does or not. I think I just stay in here. I think I kind of just stay in. Like, I don't really want to switch. I don't want the Sylveon taking a waterfall or something on the way in. I really don't. I mean, if I have to sit and spam Tailwind, I guess that's what I have to do. I don't want to switch. There's the Protect. I should have went after the Gyarados. Should have went after the Gyarados. Now he's going to sit up on me for free. Yeah, he's probably going to get a free Dragon Dance up. If he does, he wins. Thunderwave. Okay. He misses. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's Dire Claw again. How many turns of Encore do I have left? 1. And I have 1 turn of Tailwind left too, so I just stay in. He needs to go after the Noivern, because like, I'm going to start being able to do damage now. I think I'm better off just using it for damage, I think, at this point in the game. Sylveon, I can rely on that, depending on his last Mon, to kind of come in and clean up the match. The waterfall. I should be able to take that. It's not bad. I'd rather have him just throw a waterfall at me than getting thunder waved. Because now I'm faster than him no matter what, so. Arclodon, oh, that's perfect. He has no Terra for Arclodon either. That's perfect. That is perfect. I just need damage on Arclodon. I need damage on both these Mons. I can kind of come in late game and kind of clean up the game with Sylveon. I just need chip damage here. That's my goal right now. I'm going to close combat. If he has Protect, that could be a bit of an issue, but the most common item on Arclodon is Assault Vest. Otherwise, it's really frail on the special side. So it's probably AV. And then I'm just going to go for a Dragon Pulse here to get some chip onto the Gyarados. Does nothing. Wow, that does nothing. Almost one-shot him. It's in range for Sylveon, though. I live on 6. Wow, I got really lucky. I thought I was dead. Here's where the Sylveon just comes in and cleans up. This is what it does best. It just comes on in and everything's really low, comes in, starts clicking buttons. I could just Tailwind here too, but I think I actually outspeed Gyarados. So like, I'm not really too scared of it, and then he has Thunder Wave, so I'm assuming he's not max speed. I probably outspeed him. If I don't though, I should be able to at least take 1 waterfall, so I'm not really too worried about it. Which it does. He actually lives. Surprising, I didn't think he was going to live. So that tells me he's running a really bulky Gyarados for him to live that. Doesn't matter though. That's game. If he wanted a chance to win there, he had to go after the Sylveon, but even then I think he lost. You have to try to, like, I don't know, even like Thunder Wave, hopefully get like a Thunder Wave, Paraspam. I don't know. And I'll take the dub. Played that pretty well. Like, I kind of predicted. I could have tried to play around the Encore there. Like, I full-on predicted that. I don't know why I didn't play around it, but we still won. It didn't really matter that much. I was kind of able to stall it out anyways. He kind of didn't really target the Noivern down for whatever reason. I think that was kind of a mistake. I think the Noivern was actually a pretty huge threat versus his team. So I don't know. More so than the Sneasler, actually, because once I close combat, it just gets one-shotted by a waterfall, so he could have waited till I close combat and just could have one-shotted me for free instead of wasting 2 turns to try to kill me, so. Did he misplay? I don't know, but whatever, I got the win. I'll see you guys in another match. Alright, we're going against a really cool team. My opponent's running like a Psy-Spam team with Unbird and Sneasler, so we're going against an opposing Sneasler here, y'all. I think the good thing here is, like, my opponent just gets fucking wrecked by King Gambit. Like, Terra Flying King Gambit just shits all over this guy. I just have to be careful for the Sneasler and, like, the Gallade, but apart from that, it just shits all over him. What do I want to bring here, though? I think Zoroark has value here, too. I think I just bring Zoroark. Zoroark, Noivern lead, that way I can taunt the Indeedee. Prevent it from doing anything to me. Or even, like, the Gallade. If he leads just, like, with the Gallade, too, that tells me it's probably just, like, Trick Room. He has 2 Trick Room setters on his team. I think Espeon gets Trick Room, too, but usually doesn't run it. He has, like, a fast and a slow mode to his team. What else do I want to bring here? King Gambit for sure. I just don't know what I want to disguise it as. Probably the Zoroark, actually. What is the Zoroark? I think I bring Sneasler here just for the Ursaluna and the Incineroar. And then I'll bring King Gambit here as the disguise. Eject button. Eject button, oh, okay. So is this like a fake out, like, Sneasler maybe? I don't know. I mean, if he goes for close combat on the King Gambit, like, it's not gonna do nothing, so. I'm just gonna Hyper Voice here. If he wants to go with the eject button and hop out, that's fine. I'm just gonna taunt him. Helping Hand, okay. Maybe the taunt was the worst play I could have made there. Actually, it doesn't make much sense. Dire Claw. No status. I don't know if this really matters here, though, because he's going to pop out with the eject button, so. Too bad. I kind of want a Tailwind here, actually. I kind of want a Tailwind. I'm going to Shadow Ball the Espeon this turn. And I'm going to Tailwind here if I somehow live. I should live a Dire Claw. I live. It's the Para, the one thing I don't need. The one thing I don't want apart from sleep. Because so now he's going to outspeed me. Actually, I can get my Tailwind up here. With a Tailwind, I might outspeed. It depends, though. I don't think I do, though. I do. I can outspeed him under Tailwind. That's crazy. And I one-shot the Espeon. That's huge. I don't know, if I were him, I would have just attacked Noivern there. I would have attacked Noivern for sure. the Intimidate off. I mean, he can go for Fake Out here, which kind of sucks, but it's Hyper Voice. And like, a Dire Claw has a chance of not killing me here, and he can't hit me with a close combat, so I don't know what else he really has for me. And a nice Boom Burst here. If I somehow live a Fake Out, he's gonna Protect. Am I gonna get more free damage off? I am. He's gonna let me get more free damage. I think I was maybe better off going for Dragon Pulse there, though. Would have did a little bit more to the Incineroar, but I was trying to get some damage on the Sneasler. A solid amount. There's the Citrus Pop. I'm assuming I'm about to catch a knockoff there. I don't have an item though, but like it's a Zoroark, my defense is garbage, so it still gets the KO. I mean, I have one good thing going for me here is like I'm good into the Incineroar as well here, so I don't think he has anything to one-shot me in return from this range, so I can kind of just close combat if I really want to here. And like I think he just takes out the Noivern on this turn, but if for some reason if he doesn't, I'm gonna get some damage off here again. If he's Terra Ghost, oh, you're still gonna be catching a close combat on the way in, but you ain't gonna want to really eat this. Actually, outspeed him with Tailwind. Oh, we end up burden. And King Gambit's looking really good this late game. Especially if he intimidates me and gives me a free boost. I got the Poison Touch. That's why I'm running Poison Touch on this. Clutch Poison. And he lowers his defense too, that's nice. I think he actually runs out of terrain on this turn. So I can actually spam Sucker Punch if I really want to. There's that Clutch Poison coming through. Not even bad. Really clutch. Free +1 boost. Thanks, bud. Thanks for that free +1 boost. I couldn't have asked for like a better late game here. This is perfect late game for me. Going really well in my favor. I'm playing really good though. Does he Fake Out on this turn and like double into the Sneasler here? Because part of me wants to Quick Guard, predicting a Fake Out. I also have Tailwind up, don't I? I have Tailwind. He has one turn of terrain left. He actually can't go Fake Out actually because he has terrain. I barely caught that. I was going to make a play based off a Fake Out. I can't do it here. So I have Tailwind, so I just outspeed here. I'm just going to Dire Claw. Yeah, I'm just going to Dire Claw the Sneasler here, and then I'm going to Terra Flying Iron Head. Because it does a shit ton at +1. Flare Blitz, you're probably dead to recoil. Bad. No Gallade this match either. No Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and no Gallade. Worked out really good that he brought the stuff that I actually had a better matchup into. It would have been a little bit more difficult trying to deal with the Gallade, especially if it had like Wide Guard. Especially, he could have been like a double Trick Room too as well. He could have Trick Room on that and maybe on the Indeedee. If that's what he was running. Same with the Ursaluna, would have been a lot more difficult to deal with there late game, but not bad. I played really well. He happened to bring what I was actually pretty good into, so I got pretty lucky there. I'll see you guys in one more match. Alright, we're here with another game. My opponent has a really bunch of Ghost types on his team. Annihilate, Maushold, Sinistcha, Mimikyu, Primarina, and Golden Go. My opponent has like 4 Ghost types. Wow, does Zoroark look good here. The Zoroark I'm bringing for sure. I'm bringing the Noivern lead here with the taunt. Looks really nice. What else do I want to bring? I guess King Gambit looks not too bad here either. I think I bring King Gambit in the back. Looks not too bad. I don't know what I want to disguise the Zoroark as here, though. I think I might just disguise it with King Gambit. Sneasler ain't bad here either. It comes down to whatever they want to bring late game. I mean, Sneasler ain't too bad here. It just gets walled by Golden Go is the main issue, but I think I'll probably bring it late game. I'll bring the Sneasler and then I'm going to disguise as King Gambit again for this match. Opponent's really weak to Ghost types. If I really want to here, I could maybe even go like Stellar Terra, Zoroark if I can get a really good first few turns. Stellar Terra plus 1 Shadow Ball with a Throw Spray boost would probably like one-shot half his team. Mouse Hold Golden Go. Specs. Covert Cloak, okay. So what I want to do here is I'm just going to Hyper Voice. Actually, I think I'm going to Protect. I'm going to Protect here. Part of me wants to Taunt. Just Taunt here, actually. I'm going to Taunt. I want to get the Shadow Ball onto the Golden Go. That's what I really want to do here. There's the Follow Me. I'm Sash, so I can at least take one. Make it rain or whatever he has to throw at me here. He's gonna trick me a Choice Specs. He thinks I'm the King Gambit, that's what it is. Okay. In that case, I don't know what I really want to lock myself into here, though. I could lock myself in a Shadow Ball, but then I get walled by Mousehold. I'm just gonna Shadow Ball here, actually. I'm gonna lock myself in Shadow Ball. And I'm gonna Dragon Pulse here. Perfect. Perfect. He's gonna make a double switch. Okay, I'm gonna get some huge damage off here. And Mimikyu comes in, so that's actually a good play for him. I actually can't touch Mimikyu. The Noivern actually gets walled by Mimikyu. Funny enough, I cannot touch that. Get some huge damage on the Annihilate here, though. Leftover, so he's not even Scarf. That's nice. Oh, I Shadow Ball here again. And then I'm gonna Taunt. In case he wants to set up like a Trick Room or some shit. There's the Protect. It could be Mental Herb. Or if he has like Swords Dance too. It could be something he runs with that. Man, he does have Trick Room. He does. There's the Mental Herb. He probably knows I'm Zoroark now, for sure. There's the Trick Room. Uh-oh. I mean, at the same time, though, like, what do you do to me? Like, what does the Annihilate even do to me? It ain't that bad either, because, like, I mean... King Gambit's max speed, though. I don't know if at max speed, if he's running slower Golden Go, I still might get outsped. Trick Room kind of sucks here, actually. I don't know, I'm just going to Shadow Ball again. He could actually make the switch into Mousehold, though. I just can't do shit here, though, at all. Like, I can Shadow Ball the Mimikyu, but I think that's my play here, actually. And I'm just going to go for Dragon Pulse onto the Annihilate this turn. He knows I'm Zoroark now, though. That's why he didn't attack me. He just doubled into Noivern. He's like, oh yeah, this thing's the biggest threat. Even though I can't really do much to him at all. He doesn't know that, though. I mean, I'm going to King Gambit here, but I don't know if I really want to. I mean, I can actually Hyper Voice now, which would be really nice. I'm just gonna Protect here. I'm gonna Hyper Voice. I could Shadow Ball here too, which would do a fuck ton of damage, but I'm gonna Hyper Voice, I think, on this turn. You could also switch into Mousehold, which could be a bit of an issue. I'm gonna Hyper Voice for some damage, and then I'm gonna Protect here. She protects, never mind. I mean, he's just stalling out his own Trick Room, though. So he has Shadow Claw, Trick Room, Destiny Bond, and probably Play Rough. Weird set. I'm glad I never attacked him. Blessing in Disguise there. I'm just gonna go for Hyper Voice again. I think he just one-shots me here, if I'm being real. I think Rage Fish just one-shots me on this turn. I'll Dire Claw here. Curse. What the fuck is this guy doing? I live. I actually live. Well, that does nothing. Why does that do nothing? I need this Dire Claw to get something, get like a Para or something here, or get the KO. That works too, I guess. I think he's down to like one turn of Trick Room here, though. Curse. I mean, I don't know if that really matters that much. I mean, he can't touch me like that. Like I know now that the Mimikyu cannot touch the Zoroark at all. So, like, what does he have? Like one turn of Trick Room left? Yeah. So I just double protect. I just double protect here. We know he's not Sash either, so like, I think what I do here is I just go for Shadow Ball onto the Golden Go anyways. We know he's Choice Specs. So like, I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna Close Combat the Mousehold. It should one-shot him for sure. And I'm gonna Shadow Ball the Golden Go anyways. Because I outspeed the Zoroark, so. This should one-shot him. Should be able to get a fuck ton of damage onto the Golden Go still here. Goodbye. +1 Shadow Ball. Will this one-hit KO him from full? Does. I think that's game. I don't think there's any way he wins. Now, he doesn't even know my last mon. I don't know how he... I mean, I guess he does. It's King Gambit, but... He cannot touch me at all. And, like, he can go for Destiny Bond here, but... I just win. I just attack on this next turn. Yeah, or surrenders. He could surrender here, too. Not bad. I played that really good. I played that really, really well. I could have went a way different way. That would have been anybody's match, but I played really good. That Trick Room there, like having to stall at the Trick Room was like kind of the main thing. If I wouldn't have been able to stall at the Trick Room there as well as I did, I think I maybe would have still lost. I got really fortunate there too, is he never had a Fairy type move on the Mimikyu, so he was not able to touch the Zoroark. So the Zoroark was just able to pump out a bunch of damage. And he also went Terra Fire on the Annihilate, which really helped me get some chip damage with Hyper Voice too. So that also really worked well. So that was nice. Happened to work out really good that way. I mean, Curse, it's annoying, but like it just takes a while to actually get a kill on something. Especially like something that has decent amount of health. Like Zoroark has okay amount of health. So I think it would take like 4 turns of Curse to maybe get a KO on me. And we got to around about like 3 turns, so he never had nothing to touch me, so that's kind of why I was able to shit a bunch of damage, so got pretty lucky in that aspect too. And then I think King Gambit late game there would have been, even like if anything else would have went wrong, considering that's what he had, I think King Gambit would have just won me the game there anyways. I still had Terra flying if he had anything crazy. I had a Terra to use on something too, would have been good. So, not bad. Let's talk a little bit more about this team. Alright, as for this team, if you guys want to use it and you guys like what you see, at least from the showcase, and you want to give it a try, rental in the corner, paste down below if you guys want to use the team. I know there's a lot of content creators and stuff that also watch my videos, so if you guys want to use the team, just feel free to give me some feedback. Same with anybody else. Give me some feedback on the team, how you guys like it, how you did. Anything you think that should be changed or could be improved with the team as well. And if you guys do use it for any of your guys' videos or whatever, any other content creators, feel free to throw my give me a shout out in the video or throw me in the description or whatever. So apart from that, hope you guys enjoy it. Really cool team. This team also on Showdown actually got me to around like high 1400s, 1500s, or around low 1500s. Usually around that. It's not really, may not seem the most impressive, but like for your average team like this, it actually is pretty damn good. And it usually means if you're getting around those ranks, or at least rating on Showdown, usually you can easily get to Master Ball to your in-game with that type of rating, with those type of teams. So I do think if you guys want a really cool team to get to Master Ball tier, this is definitely one of the teams you're going to want to maybe try. A lot of really cool shit on this team that catches people off guard. You don't really see a lot of this stuff, and it just pairs really well together and synergizes really, really good. I'm really happy with how this team turned out. So, and it's one of the teams I actually put a lot of work into. There's a lot of variants of this team I was testing. A lot of shit on this team that I was testing. I also, at one point, actually had, instead of Charge Bug, I actually was testing Stone Churner on this team. Funny enough. And the Charge Bug just ended up working a lot better because it paired alongside the Sylveon and the Zoroark just way better. So, this fit overall. And that's mainly having the electric typing there and the stuff to deal with a few different things that the team kind of struggles with a little bit. Give it a little bit more of a backbone to this team versus a few different things with the Charge Bug. I think ended up working a lot better than Stone Churners. It's kind of what I went with. Really cool. I really like Sylveon. One of my favorite fairy type mounts. Probably one of my favorite evolutions alongside like Umbreon and Espeon. Probably my third favorite one. Really, really cool. The King Gambit, just a powerhouse in this team. Hisui and Zoroark, one of my favorite mons to use. Such a really cool, underrated mon. I think it actually can shine in this format too because it's actually really good at stuff like Annihilate and that type of thing. A lot of the Psy spam, Ghost spam type stuff that's running around too, it also does really well into. You got the Mind Games, which is always really good on your lower ladder teams. Like, if you can get a few turns bought for just like Mind Games, kind of fucking with your opponent's mind and kind of making them think you're something you're not for like 1 or 2 turns and buying you like a bunch of damage or like turns to do something else with this team, that's just instant value and you can't not go wrong with any of that type of stuff. So it's really, really good. And also disguises itself really well with like everything on this team. I think the only thing you wouldn't really want to disguise it as the Charge Bug. Doesn't really make much sense disguising it as that thing, but I think everything else on this team you can disguise it as if you really needed to. Most common stuff though is usually going to be the King Gambit or the Sylveon most of the time. So, apart from that, really cool team. You got the Noivern, really cool mon. One of my favorite dragon types to use. I just wish it was a lot stronger. It's still kind of a weak mon, but it's pretty fast and has a pretty good move pool. Apart from that, I think it just kind of gets outshadowed right now like by stuff like Dragonite and Salamence and a bunch of the other dragons in the format. That's why you don't really see it, but it is pretty fast and has some pretty good stuff going for it, like Tailwind and a few other moves. Also gets like, I think it was a Super Fang and a few other things that it gets too, so. And it also gets Boom Burst, which not many things also get. Funny enough, too, another mon, actually, I thought this as well. Another mon I was actually testing with this team originally, like, instead of Sylveon, and kind of alongside the Sylveon. And I think it was instead of the Sneasler, like, right before I put the Sneasler onto this team, was Toxtricity with, like, Boom Burst and Poison move spam and that type of shit with, like the, it's like wide move, or, like, double move spam type stuff, like a really powerful move, like I think it was like Terra Normal or like Terra Electric shit with like Overdrive or some shit that I was testing. I forgot exactly what it was, but I was testing that on this team too before I had the Charge Bug, I think too as well. It just didn't synergize very well. It also gave this team like too many special attackers. That was the main problem I was having. I think with the team now, like you got an even amount of stuff you can actually use. Got 2 really hard hitting physical mons. You got the Backbone and the Charge Bug and like the Noivern, which is also special. And then he's got the other really hard special hitters with the Zoroark once it sets up. And then the Sylveon just shits damage. So, team, like I said, if you guys want to use the team, rent on the corner, paste down below, and let me know any feedback and how you guys do. Hopefully you guys enjoy. This team should be up at least for about 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going to be building any new teams in game, at least for the next 2 weeks, at the very least. So this team should be at least up for another 2 or 3 weeks, at least in game, before I take the rental code down. And I think I have another team or something I'd probably replace instead. So this rental code should be up for quite a while if you guys want to use it. If you want to use it on Showdown, by all means, use it on Showdown as well. Really, really cool team. Had a lot of fun using this team on Showdown. Probably one of my teams I've used the most. I think I used this team the most on Showdown. I think I've played like the most games for Regulation H with this team on Showdown so far. So, really cool team. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video. We're on our way to 2,000 subs. If we actually reach 2,000 subs by October 31st, I got something really cool planned. So, we're going to see if we can actually hit that milestone before Halloween drops. Got some really cool, a few really cool games I would like to play on the channel for you guys, or even like stream. So, not going to say too much about them, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in a future video.